What is up, guys? Flippin' Steve. How was your week? And I say how was your week because today's Thursday, which is my Monday. I'm headed back to work after my Tuesday, Wednesday weekend. Thought I would do a video just to check up with you guys, tell you guys what I'm doing, where I stand in the hobby. That's what we do here on my channel. We don't talk about everything else. Honestly, there's been tons and tons of videos out about Panini, about Fanatics, back and forth, licenses and all that stuff. And really, I haven't watched any of it because it's not going to matter. You know, I can put out news on that. I can talk about it, but it doesn't matter. What happens in the end happens in the end, and we're all going to have to deal with it in our own way. So to catch you up on what's going on with me, guys, fantasy football, it's in full swing. If you guys play in fantasy football leagues, it's all, it's all going full swing right now. So, coming up on this week's Off-Centered with Dustin and myself, this will be a Tuesday night Off-Centered. We have the Content Creators Fantasy Football Draft, where all of the proceeds are going towards the National Trip Giveaway for 2023 in Cleveland. Make that 2024. I'm sorry. Time just flies. But anyway, we're coming into the end of 2023. So next year, 2024, in Cleveland, we are giving away a trip on the channel again. And I'm saying we because it's not just me. 11 other content creators have joined in. We're doing a fantasy football league, and all the proceeds are going to the trip. Now, all kinds of different content creators in there, so make sure you tune in to cheer or boo your favorites. Even Jeff Wilson's in there. If we can get some people in there, if you get all the people who like Jeff Wilson and all the people who dislike Jeff Wilson paying attention to this, guys, it will have some big attention on this giveaway, which is what I've always intended. So make sure you stop by the live stream Tuesday night to watch us draft our teams. We'll be talking smack. We'll be drafting our teams. Maybe you guys can help us out. Maybe you can give me some input. And we also have another announcement to make on Off-Centered this week as well. That'll be a surprise announcement. Maybe we'll let Dustin make that announcement. It'll be the only thing that he'll say this week that'll even be worth listening to. So, speaking of fantasy football, I did have my first draft of the year on Tuesday night that just passed. It was a family league. My brother-in-law runs it every year. $100 buy-in. 3 wide receivers, 1 flex. The rest of the roster is standard, full point PPR. And in that draft, guys, I didn't get any players that were specific targets of mine, which is weird. I usually get 1 or 2 of my specific targets, but this one, sometimes you just got to let the draft come to you and let the players fall where they fall, and you just take the players as they fall to you. Here's a picture of that team. I'll flash it up here. Little Jalen Hurts action, some Devontae Adams, some Tony Pollard. You can check it all out. There's the team over my shoulder. Let me know what you think in the comments below of that team. What do you think of that team? All right. It's also a 12-team league. Other thing I want to talk about, some dilemmas that I do have in the hobby right now. Not necessarily bad dilemmas, but just some decisions that I need to make. Number 1, Sam Darnold. Let's do the Sam Darnold update. Sam Darnold was named the number 2 quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, with Brock Purdy, of course, being the starter. Trey Lance's future with the team up in the air. Who knows what's going to happen with him? But he was a big hobby name. So Brock Purdy was a big hobby name. Trey Lance was a big hobby name. Sam Darnold is the guy that everybody had forgotten about. And because of that, you guys know that I had been buying some Sam Darnold cards because they were so dirt cheap that I was buying some and putting them away. In fact, if you guys missed my video on when I was buying Sam Darnold, you can go back and watch it. Or you can even go watch John, the Sports Reckonings video that he did the other day, where he was basically talking about how I made a bad decision. He was just having fun and putting out a video for fun, talking about how I should have chosen Baker Mayfield, and he may have been right. I mean, I'm not saying Baker Mayfield would have been a bad choice, but you can go check out his video where he's kind of trashing my decision to pick Sam Darnold. If you want, while you're over there, check out some of his Michael Jackson stuff. That's the real stuff you want to go over to his channel for. You might see a video of him talking about Dustin, who's my buddy or something or whatever. Don't pay attention to that. Skip ahead to the important stuff, the Michael Jackson stuff. All right, enough about that. Because I do watch his videos, I'm going to talk about it. I talk about what I do. On the Sam Darnold front, He was named the #2 quarterback in San Francisco, and overnight, a majority of the cards that I own have already seen a 25% bump. So feeling pretty good about that, especially after being told that I was wrong. It's never a I told you so moment as much as it is, hey, it's working out at the moment. But my dilemma is, guys, should I sell now? Should I sell now? Like I said, I'm seeing 20-25% increases on some of my cards. I bought 2 Prism Green Crystals PSA 10s out of 75 for $75 for 2. $75 for 2. There's one at auction right now at $91 with like 5 or 6 days left for one. So it goes to show you, all you need to do is buy stuff cheap and hope that that player gets a pulse. Because I'm looking at possibly selling my Sam Darnolds now for a nice little increase. But like I said, that therein lies one of my dilemmas, because when I bought these Sam Darnold cards, it was kind of like a risk it for the biscuit type thing. I'm going to put $1,000 on Sam Darnold, and I'm going to sell for a big gain, or I'm going to lose it all. I was kind of going boom or bust, and I knew it was a big gamble, so it was kind of like, hey, I'm going to either sell these cards for 40% of what I paid for them and make $400 back if he flops, or he's going to get a chance to start with a really good team and show that he can play, and now I may triple or quadruple my money. Right now, I could sell and probably get a 50% return. I could probably sell my $1,000 worth of cards for maybe $1,500. But do I want to push my luck? Do I want to push it and make some more? I know it's never good to be greedy, and typically that, you guys know, that's not my style. I sell when I can make profit, but my intentions going in was to try to win big here. So I think I'm gonna hang on for just a little bit longer. I may sell a couple, recoup a little bit of my expenses. That would be the smart thing to do. The smart thing to do. Maybe I should take some of my own advice and sell some of them, recoup some of my losses, save the rest. All right, guys. Enough about Sam Darnold. You guys don't care about him. My other dilemma is grading. I have a grading order that I want to send in. I've bought like 8 to 10 really nice cards on eBay. I'm going to do a mail day. If you guys want to see a mail day on what I just have recently bought, comment below and tell me you want to see a mail day, and I'll go ahead and do that. I haven't been doing the mail days because it seems like you guys aren't necessarily interested in them, but I may be wrong. Comment below if you want to see a mail day. But I have some cards that I want to submit, and my original intentions when I bought these cards was that I want to send them to Beckett. These are cards I want to send to BGS because they're autograph cards, and I really like to have my autograph cards slabbed by Beckett. I love Beckett's autograph grade. I trust their autograph grade the most. I like their slab with the 10 auto on it. Now, issue is I have an order out with Beckett right now that I dropped off at the National. Now, when I dropped it off at the National, I was going to drop it off at the 60-day turnaround service for the cheapest price. But I had one of their customer service reps there with me, and he said, look, our 60-plus day is more like 90-plus because we're having a lot of cards and a lot of influx being dropped off here at the National. So that paper right there says 60-plus, but it's at least 90 days. He said, if you want to pay $40, the extra charge, you will have them back, or we will have them graded in 20 days, 20 business days. And I said, so if that says 20 business days on the paper, what is the actual number? Because, 60 meant 90. So I'm like, okay, what does 20 actually mean in terms of your turnaround times? And he said, that says 20 days right there. There is no plus sign next to it, which means 20 days, 20 business days. Your cards will be graded. They'll be back to you. Today, guys, I think may be the 24th. I haven't had an update in over a week from my cards, and about a week ago they went into grading. I haven't had an update saying they've cleared grading. I haven't had an update saying they're being shipped. Nothing like that. So Beckett has already broken what they told me, and right now that sits a little sour with me because if it just said 20 plus, or if I wasn't told in person, and again, it's my word versus someone else's word. But again, if I wasn't told in person and paid that extra upcharge to get my cards rushed back to me, I wouldn't be a little bit bitter. This makes me not want to submit these cards to Beckett. Right now, if you're someone from Beckett and you're watching this video, kiss my ass is the way that I feel right now. Because of what I was told and what is actually being done with my cards. I just want my cards back. And I know it hasn't been super long, and I know some people have waited for a year with PSA. But I was told one thing: I paid for that service, and I am not getting what I paid for. So that kind of has me not wanting to grade these cards with Beckett, which is an issue because I intentionally bought these cards to be slabbed by Beckett. So what are my other options? Well, there's PSA, there's CGC, and there's SGC. I don't necessarily want to use SGC for these cards. Now, with that being said, the reason I don't want to use SGC is because none of these cards will really look good in the SGC slab, in the tux, okay? They just aren't cards that are going to look good in that black framed slab. With SGC, right now, that's who I'm respecting the grade on the most. The grade from SGC tends to be the most reliable. They tend to be on point with their grading. So SGC is who I want to go with for the grade. But again, no matter how many times you look at a tux, no matter how many times you talk about their slab, to me, they're the only grading company that has to gimmick their slab, right? The other three that I just mentioned, they just call their slab or their case. SGC calls it their tux. It's kind of like their marketing strategy. They even use the tux on their box, and it's almost like they have to market it to you like that to make you feel like it's cool, as opposed to that it actually looks good. They can't just come out and say, hey, this is our slab, and your eye test says, hey, that looks great. They have to push it on you as it's the tux. And this isn't an SGC bash video. I love SGC. My most recent order that I got back from SGC, but the cards that I'm grading just aren't going to look good in those slabs. PSA right now, I don't want to touch, guys. They just seem very unreliable on their grading. And the problem is that they're the highest on the secondary market. So someone like me who's buying cards that I intend to flip, it hurts a little bit because they're very inconsistent on their grading. And if you get bad grades, it's going to hurt your returns. Now, I'm not talking about grading for PC. When you're grading for PC, you pick who you want. You use the grading company that you want, the grade that you respect, the slab that you'd like to look at. But I'm talking about secondary market value because I intend to sell. All right, so before you blow up the comments below with, use who you want, I'm an SGC fanboy, I don't give a shit about all that. I'm talking about PSA is the highest on the secondary market. So when you're looking to sell, that's where you got to go. To be quite honest, my favorite slab on the market right now is CGC. I had a card graded at the National. The CGC slab, far and away, the best. It's the clearest, it's sturdy, it's a good size. In fact, people who think that it's a bulky slab, which it isn't, it fits inside of a PSA fitted bag. So people who say that they like PSA for the size, for the feel, because it's a skinnier slab and such, the CGC slab fits inside of a PSA fitted bag, not just a graded card bag, but a PSA fitted bag. So it's about the same size of a PSA slab. I also like their autograph grade. I sort of respect their grades because they're from a big company. They do a lot of comic book grading. They do a lot of signature grading on comic books. So again, that's why I don't mind their autograph grade. The thing is, they don't have a lot of secondary market presence. All right, not a lot of sales out there. They're still, on the upstart. I really think they could get some momentum if they could get some sales on the secondary market and get more people to like their slabs. Now, that means that I think PSA, well, it's a given that PSA has the best secondary market value. I think CGC has the best slab. I think SGC has the most consistent grades. And I think BGS has the best autograph grades. So therefore, I think that there's all four grading companies are viable. But couldn't you just wish that you could take the best thing from each grading company and slap it together? I mean, the easiest thing to do would just be to change the market value. People people's perspective on what slab should be worth the most on the secondary market. But because that would be a thing that we change. It's not a thing that a company has to change. You know, the company for SGC, they got to change their slab. Beckett, they got to change their customer service. You know, PSA has got to change their grading standards or become more consistent. You know, the only thing that we control is the secondary market. However, we're under control by the notion that PSA is the best one to buy. So there's my dilemma. I know it took a long time to get all that together and bring it all around, but I don't know who to send my graded cards to. It may still just be BGS. I might just have to get over being sour about my order being behind now and go with them, because overall, I think these cards best fit that. But again, guys, it's just some of my thoughts as I drive to work. I'm here. I'm going to be putting out a poll either tonight or tomorrow morning asking you guys to vote on my fantasy football team name. This is going to be fun. Make sure you tune in Tuesday night for the live draft, the live stream draft, to cheer for me, to cheer for your favorite content creator. I know it's going to be me, guys. All right. The other 11 guys are just there. They're just easy money, dead money in the water. And it'll be fun beating up on them this year with you guys at my back. All right, guys, make sure you like and subscribe on the way out. Give me your thoughts below. This rambling chat is over, and I'm headed on to work, guys. Enjoy your week.